Welcome friends, we're hitting summer here, well midsummer, and if you play Raft, you'll be happy to know that they've released update number 13, which is the Renovation update. It's got new furniture, new painting patterns, and more. So I'm going to go through some of this because if you enjoy Raft, you will probably enjoy going back to Raft again to try it out, play, build, and renovate your Raft, which is going to be a really nice thing that they have done for the game while we're all waiting for Chapter 3. Where's Chapter 3? So the first thing I'm going to go through is the engine controls, and they said they're planned it for Chapter 3, but they have actually brought this forward. It's not a decoration thing, but it basically means you don't need to manage the engine separately, which is really good. What you do is that you research this in the research station or the research table, and then you craft it, and it looks something like, let me make sure I turn it the correct way, something like, well, like this. Oh, did I put it the right? No, of course I put it the wrong way. Let's turn it around properly like this. So you have basically two levers here, one to engage it, obviously on off. It's kind of funny that they put this one, and actually it turned off because I had it on. Any engines you have on your Raft will be controlled by this one. You hit this one and it starts. Then you'll be able to choose the direction. You see it's moving me forward now. Hit once, move backwards, hit once again, move forward, and then turn it back off. This makes it so much easier as you're around sailing or rafting rather, because you don't have to run around and go and configure these ones independently, which was such a pain. You still can if you want to, but you don't have to. And to me at least, that was a huge pain because, you know, on my main Raft I had multiple engines because it's big enough, and turning them on and off and direction was so painful. So thank you very much for adding this one. Awesome. But the main thing they're adding is, well, renovation stuff. So what happens is as you go around and you use your metal detector or you find your barrels and stuff like that, you can find these decoration packages. And I'll show that from I'm actually right now in my creative world just to show things. I'll show a little bit of footage from my stream real world where I've been playing, where you find some of these packages, and one of them each of them have a chance, or rather each of them will allow you to discover a bunch of decoration things. The building blocks that are in there, however, allows you to build a lot more cleaner look. You'll see that on the side here of my Raft, it's not the normal crappy kind of planks. It's better, nicer ones with a lot more building pieces that they have added up, like the shapes and everything, to make your Raft look even better. Because that was a bit of an issue previously where you had these weird corners you couldn't put things in, and that made it a little bit of a challenge to build things. But the main thing is really that they've added all this decoration, like they're saying 65 new decorations for your craft. And as I mentioned, you are finding those packages around that then unlocks different things that you'll be building. And of course, I'm in creative mode, so I have a lot of them actually unlocked. For instance, you'll be able to, well, who doesn't want to have an outhouse? I mean, it's one of the problems of any game. If there's no outhouse, then, you know, how are you actually going to be able... yeah, how are you gonna, oh, and this is another part, I wasn't gonna come to that yet. You'll be able to find not just the shark, but also other marine wildlife, like these dolphins. There are whales, there's mantas. I've actually only seen the manta race around. I haven't actually seen the dolphins until this time. Really nice. Oh, glad I saw them. Of course, you have Bruce that is always going to be around, and that's another thing. But let's go back to the building things. For instance, you want to have your fireplace. Who doesn't want to have a fireplace? Make sure we put that in a nice place here for your nice little Raft. We can take out this one, which by the way is a new thing as well, but let's put it out here just to keep us nice and warm. So there's tons of these things. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously, because that becomes really tedious, but there's a bunch of things that you really want to be exploring because it just allows you to just have so much fun. Now, you might not want to put them on the floor because you can actually craft, for instance, a cupboard. So you put a cupboard down like that, then we pick it up again, and then we put up like this. Doesn't this look nice? And of course, they've expanded the signs, the motivational quotes that might actually help keep you not so lonely and everything. Oh, the lights are really nice. Let's put up something like, if I can put it, no, if I put it, no, it doesn't hang. Oh, you know, just a little bit of making it a little bit more festive. It's something that I've been requesting in a lot of games. Give us some lights, give us some more decoration stuff. You know, whether it's a painting, whether it's a Christmas tree, something that allows us to just make our home our home. Something that is a bit more appealing and not just the old boring stuff that we normally get. Instead, you want to have a little bit of a table, a little bit of a coffee table. You can have that. You can put on some flowers. Let's put on some flowers like that over there. And what else? Let's see. We can have some, of course, some tableware because we are, of course, going to be having a little bit of heat and stuff like that. It makes your home a lot more appealing to be around. Let's close that one and let's turn it off because it's a bit annoying like that. And it's one of those things that I just love it. I just love having these things. You want to have a seating. Let's have a small little couch. Let's put that in. Just kick up our feet here. And just as the sun goes down, we're able to sit here at a fireplace, have a bit of a meal, and read a book. And that's really a nice thing for them to add and Raft. So there's a bunch of these new decorations, I obviously didn't show all of them, that allows you just to make it so much more homely. And that's really nice. And as I mentioned here, you'll be able to find these packages that you can find metal detector, floating barrels, or crates on islands. And then using them allows you then to unlock, as it says here, painting. And that's another thing that they have. They've overhauled painting tremendously, where now you paint one side, both sides. You can choose from the color wheel, which makes painting a lot more convenient in general. So I'm have the painter here. I'm going to right click and let's say I want to have green. So I want to have a secondary. I want to do that purple. You'll see on the paintbrush, if I toggle it, one side, two side, and I got a pattern here. I don't want to have a pattern. I want to have this one. Okay, that's a kind of a... That coloring is perhaps not the best one. Let's say I have something like this. I mean, it's probably going to drive you insane. But it's really, really nice. And you see, it's only on one side because I only painted it on one side. If I paint it on both sides, let's do something like this, you'll see all of a sudden it's on both sides. So choosing, and you'll see at the bottom here, it says I need 3 white, 2 red, and 1 blue. And that's also shown here. So it's a much easier way to actually do your painting, and I personally really like it. It makes it so much more interesting to be painting things. And okay, that looks horrible. Okay, I do apologize. My choice of colors are perhaps not the best one, but you get the idea. So that's really nice. And like you saw, you had different pattern and everything that you can put in. You have 2 parts for your different building blocks and everything. Like you see at the chair, they have different depending on how you want to have it. That's just like you see on the picture. There are also some quality of life pieces that they have. For instance, as you're aiming, as you're selecting, they're going to be much better at highlighting the item. That's something that is always a problem where if you can't tell what you're really aiming for, but now it actually allows you to do this. Even if you haven't painted, it will show the color, how it will look, and then you can decide whether you want to have it. And they've translated this into the axe as well. So when you're chopping things down, you will actually highlight it. I know I had that problem previously where I would be chopping something and actually I would be aiming slightly wrong and I would take out the wrong wall or the wrong stairs or something, which is just very frustrating. And this makes it so much more convenient. As we just saw, the wildlife, the marine wildlife will be coming to visit your raft as well. Dolphin, you have the whales, you'll have the turtles, and I did see the manta. And of course, you always have the brews. And we saw the engine controls, which really makes it easier. They've also made a lot of changes to the existing assets in there. And one thing that you might want to actually, something that I thought was really cool. Let me take out, well, this one, for instance. If I want to make another float, for instance, now you can choose the solid foundation, which looks a lot better than just the plain old one. You can see which one do you want to build with. Of course, this is the old one, and you can change those out on your raft now and just build a really... Oh no, did I break something there? I think I did. Oh, damn it. Anyway, and just make it look better. And that's something that I personally like, because when you start building, it's okay to have this kind of rickety kind of thing, but then as you progress, you might want to have a really nice place that doesn't look like it's this rickety foundation that you're building your raft on, but you want something that looks proper. And I like that they added that in, and they did that for all the walls and stuff like that, which is really helpful. Again, easily selectable. As you go down here, you'll see the different options as you're selecting whatever shape you want to have. And I'll be linking this changelog where they mention the decorative item, the paintbrush, and the jellyfish. I haven't seen the jellyfish. Oh, okay, the stingrays, not manta. Fine, stingrays. Fixed fish packs I haven't seen either. There's a new achievement. Someone highlighted that to me as well. I'm not really sure what it is. If you know what the achievement is, let me know in the comment section below and let me know how you actually achieve it. That would be really cool to access and unlock that as well. There's some other minor changes as well as I mentioned. That, for instance, the pillars now have a direction indicator at the bottom to help in painting. Good. Screechers despawn time increased. Removing a placeable holding X now give you all other placeables that are salted in as unstable. This is something that I realized. Let's say normally you take this one out, you wouldn't necessarily get the books back. I've had that in the past where they just vanish. So that's a really nice addition that they just made that more convenient to just remodel and change things around. Now, if you're using the unstuck button, it'll teleport you back to the raft and not a nearby island. That was obviously a problem. We end up on an island and then your raft was nowhere to be found. Changes on the languages. The water pipe blueprint has been changed on the Tangaroa, so you find a slightly different location, and giant clams now stacked to 20 instead of 5. There is a bunch of fixes as well that they've done as far as joining worlds. There it could cause lag if there was a lot of things that have been built. Domestic animals end up in the water and drown. I had that happen in the past. Seagulls could attack things that shouldn't be accessible. Beehive sound, very annoying when it continues playing even though you're not in the game. And you have that issue where they're too high up. I really think they should be bugged because, if they're flying high, they're flying high. But anyway, there were so many other issues with the drinking water getting attacked. Could result in you getting stuck. Not good at all. Harvesting a seagull body does not return all arrows in the body. That one is fixed now. Hats disappearing, that was so frustrating. Before you used a hat, you could lose it because you switched into another hat. Really bad. Eggs can't be picked up if laid on a collection net. Fixed. Could not place cooking recipes on some parts of the cooking pot wall. Very good changes. I always had way too many recipes and you couldn't put them effectively in some places. Dead friends couldn't sometimes be revived because they were invisible to other players. Yeah, being invisible makes it really difficult. I do agree. And placing a lot of cooking recipes on walls causes bad performance. I didn't know this. I usually tend to put them on the cooking pot walls. Well, I did have a couple on the walls. Maybe if you just exceed the regular amount, you put, 20, 50, 100 or something, that causes a lot of problems with performance. Good, they have fixed this one. So this update, I think, is really good. It isn't the chapter 3 that we all have been waiting on, but it will allow you to make your raft a little bit more of a comfortable home. But hopefully you enjoyed this video on the renovation update. And again, if you do know how to get that last achievement, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you, at sea. Goodbye, Rafter.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.